It's been more than a year since my last Chinese watch purchase, partially because I couldn't find anything worthy, but mostly because I was saving up money to purchase this guy, which was my dream watch for a long time, and now that it's marked off the list, I can go back to buying cheap Chinese NH35 watches and enjoying them as well. So today we're gonna talk about this Watchdives Master 300 Homage. Watchdives calling this the WD1967, and this is the version 2 of this model. I almost purchased the version 1 back in the day when it was released, but I'm happy I stopped myself because the version 1 had this weird thick case and ceramic bezel, which was completely out of place for this classic watch. But now that the V2 is released, we're gonna talk about it today. So first of all, what you're getting with the watch. You have this carbon fiber looking kind of case with Watchdives embossed on the front, Watchdives on the zipper. Inside you have this mesh pocket and this foam insert. Also you get usually the warranty is like a credit card shaped, but here it's shaped in this Watchdives shield logo. On the back, of course, no date, no model, but you have the QC stamp. Also you get the manual. It's all in blue, the same tone. You have this tool for removing the bracelet and maybe adjusting the links. I didn't use this tool. Also in the package I received this link removal tool that I also didn't use, so I'm not sure how quality it is. And for my watch I had to remove two links, and of course, as mentioned, they use push pins on the version 2 compared to screws on the version 1, which is really strange, downgrading basically from screws to push pins. But I'm not mad about it because you only adjust your links once when you purchase the watch and you never do it again, so it doesn't really matter, but keep that in mind. So this is my first experience with Watchdives. I've been following this brand for a while, and I was really close to purchasing the V1 version of this watch, but luckily I stopped myself and waited for the V2, which is better in almost every aspect. One more thing I want to say about their quality control and customer service. I purchased my order immediately as soon as this watch was released on their website, and almost immediately received the tracking number, but the item was not shipped for about 4 days, and I sent them an email asking what's going on, and the reply was that during QC they found a speck of dust on the dial and sent it back to the factory to be cleaned. So that's a plus for Watchdives, really taking care of their customers and checking their watch before they're shipping them out. So this watch is an homage for the Omega Seamaster 300 from 1967. So this is the big triangle version. Another version is when you have the numerals 3, 6, 9 and 12 at the 12, and small square marker instead of this big triangle. So I prefer this one. I think it's the best version of the original watch, and this is the best homage that there is. Also, one watch that can compete with it is the Helsen Sharkmaster, I think. But the Helsen is not available for a long time, and now, funny enough, that after this Watchdive was released, Helsen actually woke up and decided to make another batch of these watches, maybe based on the Watchdives success. I don't know if it's related one to another somehow, but the Helson is I think $700 or $800, and this was $164. Basically, both are homages, so I'm not sure why to pay so much more for an homage. But yeah, that's the option. You can buy either the original from the 60s, which is about $17,000 as I checked, or $700 or $800 for the Helson, or $164 for this one. And about the price, once I already received the watch, they also posted it on AliExpress, and on AliExpress they listed for 150 US. So I'm not sure why they did that. So purchasing directly from Watchdives is more expensive than purchase it from AliExpress. It's kind of a bummer, but if you're gonna order it from AliExpress better. So for the watch itself, the case is 38mm and the bezel is 39. It overhangs the case a bit, as you can see. The crystal is slightly boxed sapphire, and the bezel insert is mineral glass. And I think it looks very close to the original, because you have the layer of glass, and underneath it you have the numbers and the lume painted. So it's not engraved into the glass, all the numbers are underneath it, just like it was with the plastic insert on the original. So the case is not symmetrical. You can tell it by the bevel on the crown side is wider than the bevel on the other side. The case is brushed on the sides, and you can see that the case is pretty thin. It's brushed on the sides, it has this lovely polished bevel, and then it brushed again on the lugs. The case is thin, and the bezel is made very tall and thick, again to be close as possible to the original watch. The bezel is 120 clicks. The case back is pretty sterile. There's no markings on it. There's these cutouts for you to open the case back if needed. The bezel is a 120 click bezel, and I will let you hear the sound. It's kind of clicky, but I don't think it's a problem. I think it's an okay sounding bezel. And also the triangle on the bezel is matching perfectly with the triangle on the dial. Again, the dial is the big triangle version. Also, they offer it with the 12, 3, 6, and 9 version, and also you can choose the aged yellow lume, where the hands and the dial have this yellow looking lume. I prefer the regular white version. The Watchdives logo on the dial is not too offensive in my opinion. I think it's an okay logo. Some people don't like it, but I don't mind it. It's okay. It also says automatic and 300 meters. Also, what I like about the dial is the open 6 and open 9, which is exactly as it is on the original vintage watch. I think it's really a nice touch. The hands, the hour and minute hands, are polished, but the seconds hand is painted white, also to match the original watch. The crown is pretty big, and it's polished with the Watchdives logo engraved. I think it's a very nice crown. It matches the watch pretty well, and of course it's a screw down crown, giving it the 300, the declared 300 depth, but I took it swimming in the pool, in the sea. I didn't have any problems with water going into the watch. Of course, because it's an NH35 movement, there is a date disc, so you're gonna have a ghost date position. So the first position is the wine, the second position is the date, and the third position hacks the movement and allows you to adjust the time. Now for the bracelet. The bracelet they choose to use here is a standard kind of oyster looking bracelet. I think it would be much better if they made a special bracelet for it that is matching the original watch, but again, for $164 you can't really get everything you want. So the end links are solid. It has female end links. It fits the case pretty well. There's no gaps between the case and the end link. It's a pretty good solid fit. The links themselves are brushed on the outside and polished on the sides. Again, the watch uses push pins, and the clasp again is a nice touch for the price. The clasp is adjustable, so you have 5 positions for the clasp. Again, the mechanism itself, it's kind of a bit flimsy. I don't know. It's a bit worse than I expected from the photos, but it does the job. So you have the 5th position, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the smallest one. So it gives you about the size of one link of adjustment. Also, the clasp itself is fully milled, and you have these 2 pushers on the sides to release it. One thing I noticed that out of the box, these 2 pushers are kind of sharp. They don't have rounded edges and they're pretty sharp. So other than those buttons, all the other elements of the clasp were pretty smooth. I think this part also was a bit sharp, so I had to go over it with a small diamond file, and this part as well. This part was kind of sharp, and this part was kind of sharp. I couldn't reach the button with the diamond file, so the buttons remain with the sharp edge. You have this Watchdives logo engraved on the clasp, which is pretty nice. And as you see on my watch, it's been used a bit. It went with me on my latest vacation. So overall, I definitely would recommend the version 2 if you're interested in a homage of the Seamaster 300, the original watch. Obviously, Omega moved to a different direction, and their current Seamaster looks nothing like it, which is sad, I think. I think if Omega would actually made this type of watch that looks exactly like this with their new movement, I think I would really consider buying the Omega, but I really don't like the current Omega Seamaster with its wavy dial and this helium escape valve over here. I'm not really into it. I much prefer the older vintage looking style of this watch. So the watch uses blue type of lume. The bezel is fully lumed. Also, the second hand is lumed. The lume is pretty strong and it lasts for a decent time.